Yesterday, there was a national cleaning day. But what was a very good initiative turned into a brutal scheme where people were beaten and forced to clean. And for me, I think this comes in the DNA of NRM, which is brutality. They force each and everything not through engagement, but through brutality, through instilling fear, which is unfortunate. Okay? Part of the video that was shown when they were beating up people is this. Here's the tape. That is the tape when they are beating up a national for refusing to sweep. Don't take me wrong. One, cleaning our country is good. In fact, I hope a law is made so that initiative can be spearheaded by cultural institutions. Here in Uganda, it used to be done. But now, seeing an officer beating up someone, in fact, that is a crime. If that person goes to court, he can interdict that officer. Under which law can you force me to sweep even if I don't want to? Okay? Sweeping must be something told to the people so that they can understand their duty. But forcing them to do something is bad. In fact, even Bobi Wine came out with a tweet. He came out to say, legitimate governments lead through persuasion, a legitimate government rule through coercion. That makes every difference and determines whether people merely live or thrive. And it is the truth. Government has a good initiative. It has to sweet talk the people, not forcing them to an extent of beating them. Okay, so as a good initiative, I supported the gesture. But the way government was handling it as if it was forcing terrorists to do something. And to make matters worse, even the rubbish that was collected is still on the streets. It is the truth. And in another tweet also, Bobi Wine came out to say, a Ugandan regime at it again, now using force and violence to enforce a cleaning campaign. Again, they have lost a bit to persuade, so they have to coerce. Sad. So you clearly see that a good gesture that was done by the government is being misused. What NRM understands is coercion only and brutality. If they lose an engagement of intellectualism or if they lose an engagement of persuading people, they resort to their final DNA of coercion, brutality, etc. Every person that was beaten and forced can take government to court, can take policemen to court so that they can be indicted. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about the cleaning campaign and its brutality, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials you can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know if you're into this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagwe. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. One, since our inception in our cultural institutions, cleaning our societies was a must. But the way they handled it was persuasion, so that, nothing is better than making a person understand as to why he is supposed to do something. Even when he doesn't have someone to preside over him or her, he will do that thing. But in Uganda, where you have to force people, beat them up and do everything, then that becomes a problem. To an extent that even foreigners were forced, foreigners who were transporting cargo, can you imagine? Cargo. At least there are some sets of people who must be let free to move. There's a video that circulated on social media when a foreigner Kenyan was forced to sweep twice. And a person on the move, moving goods and services, you cannot force him to sweep. For example, if he sweeps at point B, what if he travels at point C and he's forced again? So we lacked clarity. In fact, here is the
kufagia mzee, unataka nipagie mara hata nilikuwa nimevaa gloves ndugu yangu, unataka nipagie mara ngapi? Wewe wacha mazalao. Tunataka kufanya nini huko? Gabini sweep ndio. Wapi sweep kwa maana watu wewe nini wewe? Nimeshayo yeye. Ndio hapo anadii Kenya. Tumetoka kufagia.
Acha nikutoe wewe.
Ndio Uganda.
Kichwa. Wewe. Toa kichwa.
Ndio Uganda Kenya. Nimeshayo yeye. Shiki. Uganda. Shiki mimi. Wewe. Sipagie ndugu yangu. Siwezi. Wewe shika. Kamata. Kamata. Kamata.
Wewe ndugu.
Wewe. Kamata bill ndio sasa. I cannot sweep. I cannot sweep. Kuja wewe. Anakupiga wewe. Wewe anakupiga. Hata ukinipeleka jela mimi. You have been sleeping from there. Ona niambia nipagie nini wewe? Si tumebeba kupagia nyuma huko. Tumebeba abiria, magari zote zimesimama. You have been sweeping. So now again I sweep. I cannot sweep again.
They're not telling you to sweep.
You have been sweeping.
No, they're not telling you to
Mbona Tereza yola.
Kola paka sawa ina parking gari hiyo sigari ngatukola. Vai.
Order. You remove and park it there. There's the one.
Bona bafulume munenda bageme byoyo beye. Ezira asikala mu basi. Wano Uganda ati Kenya. Bona babeyo. Kulire byeyo. Kulire byeyo ibanga mchebyo. Kulire byeyo.
You have killed the other side. Why would they litter and then we come from Nairobi to clean for them?
That is the video when the Kenyan was forced. So you clearly see that the sweeping campaign, which was a good gesture, turned into a very gesture that was not supposed to be called for. It is the truth. So for me, I suspect that some things should not be put in the law. Some people were coming out to say that the law must be enacted on how they should conduct this campaign. No. This campaign should come through persuasion so that people can understand their duty. It's the reasons why even the opposition participated, because they know that was a good gesture. But the moment you turn it to be forceful, to be violent, to be brutal, then you scare away very many people. So for me, the cleaning campaign was good, but the ingredients on how to enforce it were overboard. Of course, that's my PM Armenians truly, Mr. Makindi, Kabe Sulaiman Magal. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.